One of the drives of our human nature is for us to find those people, those teachers who will help us to become the best person possible. Our parents seek out the best schools for us, and many of us then spend a great deal of energy seeking out the best college or university or professional program, and we rejoice when we receive that letter which proclaims our acceptance. From college, then we look for the right job opportunities, and onward goes our quest for self-perfection and attainment. There's a great deal of goodness in this, and recognizing our gifts and making them flourish. But when it comes to God and our relationship with Him, sometimes our patterns are reversed. As students, we seek the best teachers, but in Jesus we have the most perfect teacher, and He doesn't wait for us to seek Him. He comes seeking us. Salvation history shows humanity's response to God, but it always begins first with God seeking us out. Jesus' first disciples weren't seeking Him actively. In fact, most of them were pretty comfortable in their lives, but there was a yearning in their hearts that Jesus was able to touch and call out to. He called them by name. And as we see in today's first readings, with the calling of Barsabbas and Silas, the church has continued to follow this example. Each of us, by our baptism, is called in a particular and wonderful way by God to fulfill a mission which He has prepared for us. In the eyes of the world, some of these missions may be big and others may be small. But in the eyes of God, each is infinitely necessary. The first mission which we all share is what Jesus entrusts His disciples in today's gospel. We need to learn to love. And when Jesus speaks of love, it's not the warm, fuzzy love that is convenient but passing. We need the sort of love that Jesus lived. As He says, laying down our lives for our friends, pouring ourselves out, and holding nothing back. This sort of love can be challenging and difficult for us because it is our instinct to look for our own best needs, our own best perseverance. But we have to remember that in God's eyes, our best is tied up with His glory and also with the best and most important needs of our brothers and sisters. We're edified as we look at Christians throughout the world who live this freedom, going into places of need, going into places of turmoil, and being willing to serve there and to proclaim the good news there, regardless of what it may cost them. We may not face these difficulties ourselves. We may not have to put our life on the line every day just to proclaim the love of Jesus. But in a certain way, we should live with the same profound commitment every day. Each of us is called to give God our best daily in how we live, in how we speak, and in how we act. If we allow ourselves to love as God asks, then we'll learn that great second lesson which Jesus offers us in the Gospels today, the path to joy. Because you see, everything we do in this life, whether it's good or it's bad, at its very root has that search for joy, that search for that personal fulfillment, that search for that brightness in our lives. But true joy can only come in living our lives in connection with God. And so we find that joy not through some quick and passing entertainment, but through being the people that God has called us to be. We find that joy in connecting with Him daily, as we do through the celebration of Mass, as we do through our personal prayer, but also as we need to do by being mindful of how God is active in our lives and by giving Him glory through how we live. Today, Jesus invites us to learn from Him and to follow Him. He doesn't force these lessons upon us. They are not meant to be painful and difficult or very complex. That sometimes is the problem, that we're more satisfied with that which is complex. But God in His perfection is ultimately simple. Just be the person He's created you to be. Find out who that is through connection with Him, and then go forth and be fruitful, taking those gifts and bring that message of hope and joy to the lives of others. When we flourish in this way, we please God, and we help our brothers and sisters to attain their own flourishing. So as we continue with this Mass, let Jesus touch your heart. Hold nothing back from him, and then go forth and be joyful.